And so happy it's Tuesday. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
Oh, hot dang. So happy it's Tuesday. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
Kelly now.
And Ollie Bears.
We're kind of like the walking wounded around here a little bit. And not walking real spry, but, some of us are the walking wounded and some of us are mentally exhausted. Jeez, what a mess.
And I watched a lot of that last night and watched the interview with Elon.
I
and
did
Trump
not. I didn't
and-
watch any of it. I watched.
Phew.
I'm on my new favorite program that is 8 years old.
Right.
I'd seen this thing promoted over the years, but I thought, really, seriously, honestly, I
Right.
thought Designated Survivor was a single movie, and I had seen something about a survivor. It was the White House Down or something like that.
Yeah, White
I thought
House
it was the same
Down.
thing. And I never watched Designated Survivor until Robbie said something about it
It's
or
good.
Friday or whenever.
It's a good show.
Now I'm hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
There are 3 seasons.
Mhm.
Not quite through the first one, but I've watched all of the first
I
season.
was so
almost.
disappointed that it ended after 3 seasons. That was a good show.
Mhm.
It really was a good series.
Speaking of shows,
Of course, it does.
Yellowstone.
Yes. November, maybe.
Well, I don't know about that, but I saw a story yesterday with that movie that Mr. Costner, he bowed out, pulled away,
Yes.
disappointed a whole lot of people around the world
Me.
with this Yellowstone thing.
Yes.
And his movie is flopping at the box office.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah. How about that? Kevin,
That's karma.
Yeah.
dude,
Leave us.
I could have explained it to him. It's just like fishing. First of all, rule 1, do not pass over fish that you see on your scope when you're on your way out to some other place to look for fish. When you see that they're there, when the birds are feeding on fish as you go through the inlet, do you stop? If you say, well, I'm just going to keep on going looking for, no, nothing out there is a sure thing. Where you are and what you see is a sure thing. That's what you do. Then you can do what you want to do after that. Kevin, Bubba, you had a sure thing going. I mean, a surefire sure thing. And you took a nosedive. Sorry, bud.
Well, who is it now
Swan
that's
song.
going to, Kelly, what's his name that's going to join the show? Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey is going to be on
I
it?
think he's going to
Oh, I have no idea.
become the
Oh,
next.
one could hope.
Yes.
One
All
could
right,
hope.
All right. All
Okay,
right.
we didn't get any people to suggest names for our cooking team, right?
Right.
Did you get any? Did you see any?
No.
I
Nope.
didn't either. So we're gonna go a step further right now. We're gonna let y'all have a sort of a kind of a not a full say, but anyway, I'm gonna give you some suggestions if I can find all of them. Because
I'll send about 20 of them.
we were exchanging stuff yesterday. Well, I don't even know which venue that we were. Okay, here we go.
We're on Skype.
I know that, but there are several
Oh,
Skype things
yeah,
out there
it's
for
true.
us, remember?
I know I kept answering the wrong one.
Chef Chicks, Kitchen Chaos, Captain Cooks, Clever Cooks, Couch Potatoes, Great, as in GRATE, Expectations, Need, as in bread, needing for speed, Need for Speed, Stir Crazy, Whisk Takers, Cool Mob, Spice Rack Attack, Ash Kickers, Beefy Banter, Getting Saucy, Cereal Grillers, Chowderheads, Chum Buckets, Coming Out of Our Shell, Fish Whisperers, Fishful Thinking, Kingfishers, Scalawags. You just put Scalawags. It's supposed to be Scalawags. Scalawags.
Yes.
You've been schooled. And that was pretty much it. Well, there's one more.
I bet it's something you can't say on the air.
There is something I can say on the air that I'm going to say
What
that I
is
like.
it?
That I like it.
Let's hear it.
Simmer down.
I like that one.
Okay, that's 3.
Yeah, that's the one we picked.
And you know the cool thing about that?
Simmer down.
That can be our buzz phrase for the next month.
Mhm.
All right, simmer down, girls. Simmer down.
Okay.
I don't know, but y'all send us a note. What do y'all think? This is for the Men Who Cook contest coming up in a month.
Maybe we should put the list on our page and just let everybody
Yeah, we can try
choose
something
from
like
that.
Yeah, we can try that.
Yeah.
Lee's got them all over there. I mean,
I will do
you can't
that.
put some of them down there. But they've already been eliminated.
I can tell you,
we couldn't get by with them.
yeah, some of them that were like, eh. But oh yeah, it was fun thinking of names.
No, you done good on that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Back to whatever's cooking out there. Pardon the pun. Remember the story of the woman that became
good.
entangled in the luggage carousel at Chicago's O'Hara Airport last week?
Yeah.
The medical examiner immediately ruled her death a suicide, ruling that, among others, I questioned. Well, that woman was from North Carolina.
Really?
She's identified as 57-year-old Virginia Christine Vinton of Waxhaw. That's out there near Charlotte.
Wow.
How she became entangled in the mechanism is still pretty unclear. They don't know. She entered the area 2:00 in the morning. Her body was found 5 hours later in a room that is off limits. She apparently suffocated while she was entangled in the mechanism. Not knowing anything else, been to a few scenes, ruling that as a suicide, this would be the worst, stupidest way I can think of to even attempt suicide. First of all, you don't know it's
Yeah.
going to work.
Right.
I don't think she had a plan for that.
Mm-hmm.
Could not have had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, suicide is a very intentional act.
Correct.
You don't accidentally commit suicide. You can accidentally die while you're doing other stuff, like taking a lot of drugs. That could be an accidental overdose that
Yeah,
you
but-
die on, right?
Suicide is an intent.
It's
Like
you
you have a purpose.
It's a thought out plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes not well thought out.
Right.
Sometimes it can be spur of the moment. Jumping into a carousel, down into the equipment area, below everything.
Well, they also said that they had camera video of her going to various other places in the airport.
I
That were restricted too. Cute, I thought the same thing. Kind of strange that she
Well,
would.
police are not buying that ME story either. They're still investigating.
Interesting.
Yeah, so things, it's probably going to be an accident, but
Well, I find it hard to
Why?
believe there were no cameras in that room. If it's a conveyor belt room thing,
it's like below the area, whatever, it's something, wherever the mechanism is.
it's where. But I thought they were saying that's where she was found is where they put the luggage, like from the outside goes in and then it travels through its little tunnel to finally get up to baggage claim.
Uh-huh.
So you would think that there would have been cameras
But-
in there.
And I think that's where I'm going. I don't know. I should not assume, but what I took away from it when they described it is from the outside, you throw this luggage in
Hmm.
and it gets onto the carousel.
Yeah.
That's the little area where it was.
Right.
But people don't go in there.
No, but you would think still, in case there was some kind of issue or controversy or whatever, that there would be a camera
I
because
don't-
it involves people's luggage and that
I-
involves claims, which involves money.
Well, they're not supposed to be anybody going in there to get involved with the luggage there.
True, but let's say, well, how
I
would
mean, there's more of a chance your luggage disappearing up there on the carousel waiting for you to pick it up.
have you also watched people throw that luggage onto the plane?
Ah.
That's like that's like an Olympic sport right there.
Listen, I watched, and the reason that when I used to do the commercial photography and traveling down I went to Jamaica a lot, down to Curacao a lot, shooting photos for people, right, for the companies down there. But my case
Hmm.
weighed 30 pounds for the case empty.
Hmm.
So, I always had excess baggage.
I understand that. Yes.
All right. So I had that, but this is what they call a Pelican case. It's a
Mhm.
huge,
Yeah, I
big
know what
Pelican-
those are,
Big
yeah.
Pelican case.
Yeah.
It's this tall, waist high.
Yeah.
I crammed all the stuff in there.
Hmm.
You could bounce that sucker around. You can also put it in the water. It
Mhm.
floats, and it's waterproof. It's got a seal. I like my Pelican cases. There are two of them over there that I carry stuff in.
Hmm.
I carried that, and I'm sitting on the plane, and I'm watching that luggage cart come out one day, and there's my luggage, my camera, my equipment, my stuff,
Being tossed around like a.
not being tossed around. It rolled off the
oh,
that cart.
nice.
Yeah, it goes bam. And I said, "Well, we're gonna test Pelican when we get down there."
Uh huh. It worked. It was fine.
It was
right?
fine,
Yeah.
not a problem.
But I've seen these people like that. You think they're doing the shot put or something, the way they throw that
Well,
luggage
you
out of
know,
there.
it's that gorilla test.
Yeah.
You saw,
can't
remember those
say
commercials
much.
with the luggage? On
Yeah.
Does the
I
gorilla?
Yes.
can't say much. I've seen this at the post office.
That's why
That's why I'll get
my-
the banged up packages.
that's why my
yeah.
postcards come in here looking like
Yeah.
they do.
Standing in the middle of the floor and you're emptying out a big container and there's like 60 buggies all around. You're choo.
Oh, my.
Airborne, incoming.
At least now we know who to start with
Airmail.
our blame game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airmail.
You know who gets subpoenaed to the civil suit in case we have one, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Is this how y'all used to do it?
Yeah.
I do not recall dates or times, so it's not going to do any
You'd
good
be
to
the
call me
expert
in.
witness.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on down there to the hot Atlantic. Tropical storm Ernesto has formed in the
Mhm.
Atlantic and is moving westward over the Leeward Islands this morning, expected to start turning northward, which will take it over some of the greater Antilles, including the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, within the next day or so. As it builds into a hurricane,
Mhm.
Ernesto will turn more northward, then northeastward, yay, keeping it away, far, far away from the east coast of the United States,
Bye-bye.
unless something goes awry.
Yeah.
But depending on large and on how large and how powerful the storm becomes, the East Coast, including North Carolina, will experience rip currents and heavy surf towards the weekend. So get prepared for
Yeah.
that. We may as
There
well
you go.
warn you, the ocean, it's going to look great out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the creature from the dark lagoon. You have no idea
Yeah.
what lies below
I
the
was going to
surface.
say it's what lies beneath. Yeah.
When you get out there,
Mhm.
and you don't have a clue what you're doing, folks. Stay with the lifeguards, stay close to them, make friends with them. You might not see these rip currents because you won't be able to recognize them. You can see them if you know what you're looking for, but you have to be schooled in it. Pay attention to any warnings that are issued and swim only where lifeguards are on duty. Got it?
Got it.
Good advice.
My. It's got a woman down there in South Carolina. She's going to have a lot of explaining when she shows up someday at the pearly gates.
Why?
Shelley Strickland worked at a church in Ware Falls, South Carolina as the financial secretary of
Don't
this
tell
church.
me. Don't say it.
Hold on to your drawers. Since 2019, police say she's been skimming a little money off the top of the collections.
That's not
5 years
good.
now, okay? Skimming, probably an understatement. She's charged with taking a little bit more than $400,000 over 5 years, money she used to pay off
Wow.
credit card bills, do some fine dining in restaurants here, there, and everywhere, and she took some pretty cool vacations. The church had hired a new financial secretary and was not aware that anything was wrong until this new secretary started finding a few discrepancies. Strickland also worked at other area churches, and police say additional charges are possible. Let me understand this now. Forget all of that. A church in a small town in South Carolina missing 400 grand over 5 years, an average of 80,000 a year, right? And no one noticed. That's a congregation that probably needs to have a meeting with the preacher. If the church collected that kind of money and did not know anything was missing, how much did it collect all total? If you didn't even miss $400,000,
That's a big chunk.
$80,000 a year, and you got a small church in South Carolina, you didn't notice that it was missing? How much money was involved in this church's annual collections?
Interesting.
Few million? You might miss 80,000 a year if you got several $1 million coming in. My, what a mess. Like I say, she may have some splaining to do when it comes time to get down there to the pearly gates, or up there to the pearly gates. Okay, let's go on. Today's weather tip sponsored by John Stars Electric, your Generac standby generator dealer. It's a fact that this is a new one for you ladies, okay? So simmer down and listen up. It's a fact that out of control cars collide with utility poles with overhead power lines. Power lines that in some cases can carry thousands of volts of electricity. There are things you should know that can save your life if you're in a wreck where power lines are knocked down, or if you decide to stop to assist at such a wreck scene. First, consider both the vehicle, because it's metal compartments, right? And any power lines on the ground or draped over your car, consider them as live or energized or hot or whatever you want to call it with electricity. Never approach a scene when this is the case. The general advice is to stay at least 35 feet away from the nearest power line or wrecked car and call 911. If you're inside the vehicle, stay there. Do not touch any metal parts of the car. If there is smoke or fire coming from the car, there is an exception. You need to get out. But never touch the ground and the vehicle at the same time. Okay? You'll need to position yourself so you can jump from the car onto the ground, clearing the metal car before you touch the ground. Always consider the car's frame has electricity on it, and touching the frame and the ground at the same time can prove deadly. When you jump from your vehicle, you should land with both feet together. This is important. Listen up. Instead, slowly shuffle away from the vehicle and power line, making sure you keep your feet on the ground all the time. If you separate your feet too far, you'll become an open circuit and you could be electrocuted. As we know, a lot of car crashes occur during rainy weather. Well, standing water is a pretty good conductor of electricity. Avoid puddles, wet grass, and other damp or wet items as you move away from the scene. The 2024 Atlantic hurricane season runs through the end of November. It's predicted to be one of the most active seasons in a long time. Even if there's not a lot of time to get a standby generator ready for the entire season, there's always next year, but don't wait until then. You might not know it. Here's an interesting fact, ladies. 11% of all power outages in this country are not caused by hurricanes or tornadoes. They're caused by people running into power lines. Got that?
Right.
That can happen with or without the assistance of high winds, tornadoes, or hurricanes. While we could deal with power outages of a half day or more in the past, with the dependency these days on computers and the internet, and for many businesses, landline telephones, being without electricity, even for a few hours, produces problems and can cost you money. Why not get started right now? Get started with a plan to power up your life 24 hours a day. John Stars Electric is your standby generator dealer. From the first call, you'll be amazed at the efficiency of the Stars team. Give them a call today. They'll stop by, work up a quote based on your needs, and you'll be up and running before you know it. Tell you what else, it's all worry-free and turnkey. John Stars Electric, 910-989-1908. We'll be right back with your weather outlook for the rest of this week after these messages. Don't go away. And the Marine Outlook is brought to you by Community Prevention Services right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're having personal issues, person problems, perhaps, maybe you're overwhelmed with family matters, there could be a problem at work that are causing you more grief than you deserve, maybe more than you can handle all alone. That's understandable. You're not alone. It happens a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
Everybody's got problems somewhere or another. The
Mhm.
more we have on our plates, the more seems like it's coming to us from every direction. Why does it look like? Why does it seem like to me that when one thing happens, everything happens?
It just always seems that way because one thing might be highlighted and then it's almost like a domino effect. Yeah.
Maybe this is the time to reach out for a little help. You can't find a corner to hide in,
No.
then you reach some. That's when you need some help, right?
Hmm.
The good thing is that you don't have to drive all over the state looking for it.
Nope.
It's right here in Jacksonville. Community
Yes.
Prevention Services, located at 918 Henderson Drive. It's a local company. They don't have headquarters in Raleigh or Washington. It's all right here.
Yep.
The counselors are trained to assist with most any issue you have. The company also accepts most insurance plans.
Mhm.
Don't let that add to your worries. No worries about reading about your issues on the internet either.
No.
Everything you share is totally confidential. One really nice thing about Community Prevention Service is that they actually care about each and every one of their clients. They'll work with you to develop a treatment plan. There's not one size fits all here, folks.
Mm-mm.
They're looking for a plan that does not involve shoveling a bunch of drugs into your system. Maybe that's one of your problems. If you've tried self-medicating, you've probably come to understand that it doesn't work. It's a short-term, at best, very short-term escape from your problem. Let the counselors at Community Prevention Service assist you. You'll be glad you did. Call for an appointment, 910-353-0972. I'll slow it down for you. 910-353-0972. Offshore today, oh, what a much better week. Northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, 2-foot waves from the northeast every 3 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop tomorrow. Northeasterly winds around 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. It's looking pretty good with 3-foot waves every 9 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Thursday, northeasterly winds around 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a light chop.
3 foot's better than 9 foot, Rayford. I'm just saying.
No. Oh, yeah. We had
Yeah.
9-footers earlier.
Yeah, we had 9 foot
Yeah.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
yeah,
it'll
we'll take a
rock
3
you.
foot. Yeah.
Well, 3-foot waves tomorrow every 9 seconds apart. Hey, that's good.
I
That's
like
just
that. Yeah.
gentle
Even I know
rollers.
that. Yeah.
Well,
Gentle
that
rollers.
ocean needs to simmer down.
Well,
It
it's
does.
not going to.
It's calming down.
Yes.
Well, today,
Until the weekend.
mostly sunny, high of 87. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 67. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 85. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 66. Thursday, sunny, high of 85. According to this, for the next week, we have no rain in the forecast. Now,
Oh,
you know
you
how that
just blew
goes.
it.
I know.
Oh,
I'm trying to
no.
be positive for everybody. People are tired of rain. They want to see sunny skies. They want their yards to dry out.
6.01.
We had no rain here yesterday at the
No.
studio.
Hmm.
Yay!
And not in my
Looked
house
like it for a
either.
while, but we didn't
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
So
the
weather's
studio.
looking good.
Yeah.
Weather's looking great. We're still high humidity though, but I
Yeah,
noticed that your thermometer says 68 out there.
68
Yep.
and 99% feels like it's 74. Last night I walked outside and it was right at 70 degrees.
Hmm.
I thought it was going to freeze to death.
Yeah, I woke up cold.
Wow.
No,
Well, it was muggy yesterday, the humidity.
It
'cause
was.
it was.
I managed to get the yard mowed.
Yay!
Oh, you were sweating it out there.
Shoo-wee. Oh, I was soaked. Absolutely.
Yeah, riding around that tractor all day long is tough.
Well,
isn't
I'm
it?
gonna tell you what. I think my tractor's about ready to.
Buy a new one.
Yeah, and it's 15 years old, but it was making some grating sounds and smoke started coming out. So I'm
There's your
no.
The smoke is the real sign.
Let me just finish the yard before you blow up. But you know, I think what happened was I had gotten such a collection of leaves and twigs in around the belts on top of
Oh, it was
the.
squealing, wasn't it?
It wasn't squealing, but it was like, and then smoke started coming out. About
You almost blew that thing up. What are you
Okay,
doing?
let's see. You
I
got smoke
stopped it,
coming
cleaned
out,
it
you're
out.
hearing noise,
Yeah.
and you're sitting on top of
And
a
she's just
machine.
riding around full of gas.
No,
And
I-
it's right below lower butt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now I
There you go.
stopped it, let it cool down. Then I cleaned it real good, and then it started right back up, and it was fine. So it might have been something caught in one of the belts.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
But
Okay,
knock
it
on
works
wood,
like that.
15 years old is still kicking. It must be that number 48 I got on the side of it. Y'all don't
What is
know.
48?
It was my favorite race car driver.
Oh,
Anyway, in the studio this morning, we have Jarek Vernon, and he is with East Carolina Human Services Agency Incorporated, and he's here to tell us about a big event coming up.
yeah. It's about poverty, right? Hey,
Yes.
good morning, Jared. Come on up. Across there you go.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Rayford, Kelly, and Miss Lee. Thank you for having me again. I do remember my time here last year, I
Mhm.
believe it
I
was.
remember
yes,
that.
I
Uh,
remember.
You know, anytime you're in front of, as many times as I've spoken in public venues, and in anywhere, it seems like when the microphone is in front of you, it becomes a cannon sometimes.
Okay.
It feels like a cannon sometimes. But today, coming in, y'all made me feel really comfortable, and I'm just glad to be here to talk about our agency
Okay,
and
good.
and our event.
Well, we have never lost a patient here. There are not many doctors who can say that, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
And I
we're good to go.
And I
Right.
recall the last time you were here. I mean, you did great. It was like instant friendship,
Mhm.
and it was really great. You did a great job. So I know you're going to do a great job today.
Let's talk
Fantastic.
about the organization first.
Yes.
Sure, I will. And before we start, I was a mass communications major. I thought I was going to come into
Oh, really?
broadcasting.
And then you got sane. You
Yeah,
got some help, right?
yeah. So what was the question? Yeah.
Let's talk about the organization.
Yeah, so Eastern Carolina Human Services Agency is a nonprofit community action agency. It's the product of back in 1964 when Lyndon Baines Johnson, his war on poverty.
Mhm.
A lot of things have changed since the 60s, but our mission has remained the same. We're in the community to help low-income families become self-sufficient. We do that in several ways through different programs throughout the years. Currently, our two core programs is the Community Services Block Grant Program. It helps low-income families become self-sufficient by providing financial assistance when needed, housing support, education support, uh, employment support. And really what I kind of want to relay from our agencies, we create tax-paying citizens. Our program's about a hand up, not a handout. We foster economic development in this community by helping to create job ready candidates, and also by purchasing goods and services in the community, purchasing them through local businesses. The other core program that we have is the Section 8 Choice Housing Choice Voucher Program. There are different programs under that umbrella. One of them that may be familiar to a lot of folks is the HUD Vaj program, which it helps veterans, homeless veterans. It helps them with housing stability, pays a portion of their rent. And so that's what we are. That's what we're here to do in the community, and we provide services as needed.
Okay. Let's talk a couple of things there. How do you find these people, or do they find you? You have to narrow them down somehow, right?
Right. So sometimes the people who need the help the most are to find. We find that a lot of the folks that need the help the most, for some reason, don't always reach out. So we rely on community partners. If someone is visiting, say Salvation Army, and they need some assistance that the Salvation Army does not provide, Salvation Army can reach out to us. So we get clients through referrals, through folks who visit our website, but mainly referrals, mainly through referrals. That's how we get most of our clients.
Okay. And they come from all walks of life, I presume.
Come from all walks of life. People who have, you just never know what's going to happen in your daily life. You could be up one minute and down the next.
Mhm.
I mean, the pandemic showed us how life can change on a dime.
Have we recovered pretty much in this community from the pandemic as far as employment is concerned?
So, as far as employment is concerned, there's jobs, but there aren't skilled folks to fill those roles. So there are opportunities, but employers are having a difficult time having qualified people to fill those roles.
Mhm.
And so that's a part of why we're needed, because we help those individuals get the education skills that they need to thrive.
Where can they get those skills? I mean, you don't sponsor classes, I take it. There must be some referral service or something.
Right. So we have case managers in the CSBG program in particular that sit with these families, and they discuss goals. And if employment generally is one of those goals. And then they start to talk about what's it going to take to get that job. And so if it's a CNA, or if it's a
Sure.
class at Coastal, we can help provide that financial assistance to get them through that class. And even when they get the jobs, a lot of times getting the job is just the first step, but the next step is, how do I get the boots? How do I get the computer? Things like that. We can also support that to make sure they get a good start.
Okay. You mentioned vets. You're looking for homeless vets. I mean, we know we got plenty of them.
Right.
Those are the folks that, as far as I've been told, they're the last ones that will come forward to seek help in
Absolutely.
situations like this.
Right. So,
Why?
So
Stigma?
that could be. I'm a veteran myself, and you're kind of trained to take things to the chin and keep going. I find that myself even, and a lot of my friends that are veterans, they're just resistant to asking for help. You almost feel like you're still this machine that can continue
A roll with a punch.
with the punches. That's it.
Okay. So, but you have some success in dealing with the homeless vets here, trying to
Absolutely.
get them a home.
Absolutely. So the biggest problem we have now is inventory. So we have vouchers that are out on the street, but finding inventory, finding housing to house the veterans is the current problem. So if I was to make a plea to your listeners, it would be, when you find a landlord who has an available property, to contact us to let us know that you have a unit that we can make sure that a veteran or another individual could get that housing.
With a shortage of housing that we have, we keep hearing about it here in Onslow County anyway. I would imagine that housing goes for a premium price, number one. And number two, a lot of landlords are not going to want to take a cut when they can rent the place for double what you can pay them.
Right. So that's an issue as well. And HUD has addressed some of that issue by increasing those vouchers. But it's incredibly difficult to be competitive. However, back to the pandemic, when the pandemic was going on, a lot of landlords weren't getting paid.
Right, yeah.
Folks, landlords who are on our programs, they didn't get a drop in service. They continually got paid. So we just try to focus on things like that to be incentives for landlords to continue to rent out.
Your landlords that you guys were associated with, you made sure they were paid.
Absolutely.
But other landlords we know, they couldn't even kick people out of the houses
Right.
because there was all sorts of rules and regulations at that time. Well, that's some sort of this is a stable income.
Yeah.
Maybe people or maybe landlords, a lot of landlords would like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we're hoping for. And there are other stigmas that we can explain. We can debunk some of those stigmas about renting through Section 8. Landlords continuously get paid. Those families still have to abide as any other family. It's just that those landlords are going to guarantee that check.
What happens? Not that they would, but I know that in a lot of cases, people who rent homes, regardless of who they rented to, by the time those people get ready to leave, the place is a mess. It takes a cleaning service. It takes repair companies. It takes all sorts of things to be able to bring that place up to standard so they can rent it again. Do you have that same kind of an issue?
No more of an issue than the general public. Again, the only thing Section 8 is providing is the payment. Those families are subject to the same rules, regulations, laws, and everything as anyone else is. So if someone messes up an establishment, they would be treated just as any other tenant that landlord would have.
Do they get a deposit from you guys when somebody moves in to take care of anything that happens after the fact, just in case they move out and leave a bunch of trash around?
So again, however those leases are made out, that's the way it's taken care of. But specifically speaking to how it's paid, it's probably best for me to have our Section 8 housing director to speak to that. But yes, in general, it's just if there's required a deposit, that's paid the same as anyone else.
That's what I was curious about.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll be back on the other side. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 7.1, 1120 a.m. WSMA. Okay, we're back, and our guest in the studio is Jarek Vernon. We got a program we're going to talk about right now. It's a program called Defeat poverty, or I think that's the official title, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a tough goal.
Yes, sir. So again, thank you for having me, Mr. Rayford. So
It's our
yes,
pleasure.
I'm here to speak about our Defeat Poverty 2024. It is a growing event. We've done it for quite a few years, but I believe 2022, we really wanted to come out with a bang, so to speak, because off the heels of the pandemic, and it really was well received, and we knew that this was something that we wanted to continue going. It's going to be a day filled with over 70 vendors and community resources from Onslow and surrounding counties, providing free services, clothes, school supplies, free haircuts, employment services, food, and activities for the entire families. Plus, we don't want anyone to miss out on giveaways, prizes. So what we're asking the community is to bring your friends, bring your family, and come be a part of what makes our community great. That's this Friday, August 16th at 237 New River Drive, Jacksonville, from 11 to 2 p.m. for our Defeat Poverty 2024 with Eastern Carolina Human Services Agency and friends.
Okay, that's not very New River Drive.
Excellent.
That's not very far from. Trying to pick that look. What's a
New
landmark
River
nearby?
Shopping Center.
Yeah, and you
At
know
the
where
shopping center.
yes, sir. The
Okay.
Planet Fitness over there
Yep.
in that plaza.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
That sounds like a good deal. Now, who's eligible? Just anybody? What?
The entire community.
Everybody.
It's not based on eligibility criteria. It's about us coming together collectively as a community and
Really?
showing that there's resources out there to help everyone.
I
Okay, so-
remember last year, y'all did really well.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So where are you getting the goods and whatever the stuff that you're going to be giving away?
From donations, pretty much donations. We have a good board at our agency.
What are you looking for? Is there? I'm assuming there's still time for people to donate.
Absolutely. Thank
What-
you so much for that question.
Yeah.
Though right now school supplies are the biggest thing. Our vendors are coming with their own supplies to give out, but mainly is the school supplies. I think that would benefit us the most.
Okay, so some people need to go buy some things. They can just go up to the big box stores and buy a bunch of stuff, right?
They can do that, or they can contact us at 910-347-2151. They can make I'm sure our finance officer will accept donations in
Okay,
any
yeah.
way.
That might be the easiest and smartest way to do it, because you folks out there like me, we have no idea what to go get, to be
Right.
honest with you. Can't figure out a birthday gift for my wife most of the time. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Simmer
It's
down.
real close. And she's listening.
Yeah.
I already got it though. But generally, I wouldn't know where to start. So it'd be easier just to write a check or
That would be
take credit cards or cash, right?
fantastic.
All right. And where do they go?
They
To
can,
your office?
they can come to our office or give us a call. I'm sure we can send someone to
There you
wherever
go.
they are. Any way possible. When someone's trying to donate and give, we want to make it as easy as possible.
See how good my memory is. 910-347-2151.
Got a great memory.
Great.
Finally. 910-347-2151. Give them a call. They'll make arrangements to come by and collect some donations from you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so
Yeah,
what
free
time is that
haircuts.
event on? Yeah.
Didn't
I
you need
need-
you said you needed a haircut?
Yes, I know. I'm going to go get clipped here soon.
Yeah.
That time on Friday starts.
11 to 2 p.m.
Okay, so guys, it's a finite period of time. You got 3 hours.
Mhm.
Get your buns together, get it over there. 11 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 237 New River Drive.
Jarek, I see free clothes and shoes. Are you looking primarily for students or for everyone?
To get the clothes,
Yes, for donations. Like,
What kind of stuff you looking for? Shoes
Yes.
and
Yeah.
clothes for everybody?
basically, yes,
Yes.
from the whole family. Most
Okay.
of our programs support the entire family.
Sure.
So
well, okay then.
Lee's about to go clean her closet out.
Well, no, I have about 6 bins of my granddaughter's
Oh,
stuff.
that's right, you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'll
they
take
could
some
definitely use some
You-
of that.
to the
yeah.
women's
Yeah.
You got a
shelter.
load.
And then,
fantastic.
And then I'll give you a call. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great.
Thank you so
Sounds
much.
good. All right. Derek, we appreciate it. Thanks for
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Dan,
Yeah, thank you.
very much. This
Look,
is-
I'm blessed to be able to step down from serving our country to going to college thinking I'm going on one path, and then
Oh, that never works.
run into a jewel like our agency
Excuse me.
that's been doing this work since the 60s.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been with them?
Since 2014.
Wow.
10 years.
Yeah.
This is a good agency, by the way. I know who they are. I know that a lot of their staff, so it's a great place.
Good.
Yeah, they do a
Yes.
lot of very good work for the
All
community.
right. Now we've already you've been screened, so we know.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
thank you for your service too.
Yes.
Thank you.
definitely.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, everybody who's ever been in the Air Force, the first question that people ask
Here
you,
we
God,
go.
what
don't
kind of
start.
plane did you fly?
Oh,
Right? Isn't
here
that
we
what the
go.
general question is? First question.
That's the first question.
And
then-
then you say,
And then when I say I was a jet mechanic, they assume that it's jet, but it was a jet engine. I worked on the jet engines on a cargo plane, the C-17 actually.
oh, wow.
Wow.
Mhm.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
It's a big plane.
it is.
Can you work on my Jeep?
So I think I'll stick to the aircraft engines, you know.
All right. Very good.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Oh,
So
thank
as a reminder, this Friday, 11 to 2, 237 New River Drive, and everything is on our Facebook and YouTube and on our regular
All right.
page.
Sounds
Yes.
good. Derek,
Yeah,
Awesome.
have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Appreciate what
Thank you
do.
so much.
Take a quick break. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. All right, Marty, you can probably hear me right now. We're going to take you live in just a second. I want you to describe and tell us what's going on there. Whoops. You hung up. Okay, we're back, and I'm trying to reach Marty. If he will answer the phone, then we'll be able to talk with him about a wreck that's going on out there. Marty, you there?
Yes. All I saw was flashing lights.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I got feedback.
All right. You probably got the radio turned on your cell phone too, right?
I just turned it off in the truck. I'm in the truck.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're on Gum Branch Road. Where on Gum Branch Road are you?
It was at Living Water Church,
Okay.
and traffic was backed up both ways. I saw flashing lights, so that's all I saw. I saw enough, so I turned around.
Okay.
Had to go around my elbow to get to my phone just about.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, I appreciate you checking in with us. The folks that's on Gum Branch Road, Living Waters Church on Gum Branch Road. Traffic is backed up in both directions, right, Marty?
Yeah, so I saw very little traffic trickling through. That's enough for me.
Yep. Turn around, go somewhere else. Y'all pick another route. It's some traffic time there, and that's a bad location anyway.
And some people going to be late for work now.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Do not speed.
Yeah.
And just slow your butt down.
I don't think you're going to be able to speed. It's going to be bottlenecked.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Marty. Appreciate it, sir.
All right. No problem. See you.
Take care.
Yeah, if anybody's wondering, that's right there in the Lordale area across from there.
Yeah.
Oh, what a mess.
And I can just imagine pretty soon it's going to back up into the intersection right there.
The major one.
Yeah, right there at Lowe's Foods and Western, corner of Gum Branch and Western, because that's not that far.
That's not a good location.
No. Oh, I hope they get that. First of all, I hope no one's hurt. And two, I hope they get this cleared up fairly quickly.
Yep.
Or it's going to get messy real quick.
Yeah. All right. There's a whole bunch going on politically speaking. When we come back after the Fox News break, we'll talk about some of that political nonsense. So, and if you guys want to chat this morning, because you may as well go ahead and get ready, send us your telephone number. You can send that and your name via Messenger, Facebook Messenger, if you want to do it that way. We've got 2 folks monitoring it. We've also got 1 person monitoring her email, and she doesn't mind giving it out. It's Lee C. Barrows, gmail.com. It's Lee, Leeec Barrows, Barrows at gmail.com. And just give us your name and your telephone number and say, I want to talk. And then we'll call you.
Hold on. We've got a correction. The wreck is in front of Jacksonville Christian Academy.
Okay.
Well, that's even.
Isn't that right next door to it, though?
No, Jacksonville Christian Academy is.
So that whole area is blocked up.
Right there, like by Chamber of Commerce.
What?
Yeah. That's farther
That
down.
might be a.
Maybe there's another wreck. Maybe there's 2.
Do not mistake that one. That's going to be a different wreck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lardale out there is a long ways from that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Now you got a couple of wrecks
Just
out there
avoid
in
Gum
Gum
Branch.
Branch.
That's the way I go to work too. I'm gonna have to find a. Okay, I got to
Well,
go
I
another
can
way.
give you
you're
another
just gonna have-
direction.
I got another way
You
I
got
can go.
74 directions to get to your place.
I got to get there.
All right. So when we come back, we'll talk politics. And I just gave you how to reach out to us if you want to chat this morning. Come on and do so. If it's stuff irritating you about what's going on in the political world, now's your time. And one of these days, we'll get our telephone interface boxes back and you can call direct. Meantime, we're working around it. Live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Fox News is now. Okay, we're back live in local real talk. Kelly's decided she's putting her traffic control outfit on, and she's going to run down the road, and she's going to direct traffic on her way to work this morning.
Yeah.
Gum Branch Road, there are a couple of wrecks there. One's near the Chamber of Commerce on Gum Branch. The other is further down near the Living Waters Church in the Christian
Near Lordale.
near Lardale, out on Gum Branch Road.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have two different reports.
Two different wrecks, likely, and it seems like that anyway. Okay.
All right. All right.
Trying to avoid the nonsense involving a vice presidential candidate has become virtually impossible. A vice presidential candidate? What in the world? It might even be irresponsible to try to avoid it. With all of the mounting brouhaha that's going on, yep, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is the Democrat presidential nominee Kamala Harris' choice as her running mate. Walz served for 24 years in the Minnesota National Guard, retired in 2005. We've been following all of the comments from fellow guardsmen and a bunch of other people, some charging Walz with stolen valor, stemming from a bio that claimed he was the unit's command sergeant major. He would have been had he completed the courses he was taking in 2005, but he retired first before that after getting advance notice that the unit was going to be deployed for combat action in Afghanistan. The battalion commander of Walz's former Guard unit issued a scathing message to Walz. In a Facebook post, John Kolb wrote, "I do not regret that Tim Walz retired early from the Minnesota National Guard, did not complete the Sergeant's Major Academy, broke his enlistment contract, or did not successfully complete any assignment as a Sergeant Major. Unwittingly, he got out of the way for better leadership. And that's a good thing. By all accounts and on the record, he was a competent chief of firing, battery, gunnery sergeant, and first sergeant. I cannot say the same of his service sitting frocked in the command sergeant major chair. He did not earn the rank or successfully complete any assignment as an E9, a sergeant major. It's an affront to the non-commissioned officer corps that he continues to gloom onto that title. I can sit in the cockpit of an airplane. It does not make me a pilot. Similarly, when the demands of service and leadership at the highest level got real, he chose another path." Funny that Harris has had nothing to say since the criticism started. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
She's maintained her silence.
At least about him.
They did change his bio on their campaign stuff. It may not mean anything to her or maybe anyone else that has never worked in or around our military. I don't see Harris as a person who is military friendly, pretty much like another candidate back in 2016, another woman, this one named Hillary. For our listeners, does any of this make any difference to you? Does it make any difference that he was claimed to be a command sergeant major? He was taking classes for it, but then he retired. Stolen valor? Bailing on your unit just before they're scheduled for deployment? Is that a reality? In fact, do you really care who the vice presidential candidates are? Do you care who Kamala Harris picked? Do you care about J.D. Vance? Do you care that Donald Trump picked J.D. Vance? Does it make any difference? Is that going to change your mind about who to vote for? That's what I want to know.
That having a strong vice president means a lot, because if anything happens to the president, then that vice president is the one
The
going to be
last
one
time
taking
that
over.
happened was
But-
when?
Yeah,
Nixon.
but you never say never.
Never say never, but
But the thing about it is, when you're voting for the presidential ticket. You're not voting for president, vice president.
there's nobody voted for John Kennedy because of that guy that was his vice president.
Right.
Nobody cared.
I mean, but it's something to think about, but it wouldn't sway me
no.
from voting for who I was going to vote for president.
Yeah.
All
Time
right.
magazine's cover story on the reintroduction of Kamala Harris is drawing a bit of criticism, some of it pretty harsh, as much an attack on journalism as it is on the VP.
Right.
The magazine article, another news piece in which Harris has refused to be interviewed, the author of the piece, wrote, Harris has pulled off the swiftest vibe shift in modern political history and declared that maybe the 2020 Democrat primary and her time as vice president haven't been the right times for Harris to showcase her talents, but she seems matched to the moment as the Democrat presidential nominee. Matched to the moment to be VP. Really? The glowing comments in that article were all over the place. Then came the reaction. I want to read you some of the posts verbatim. I probably won't comment on them, at least in the beginning. You be the judge. Here's the first one. The way the U.S. corporate media transformed Kamala Harris from a national embarrassment to a transformative pioneer overnight without even pretending to care about anything that she thinks or believes is a powerful testament to how potent the science of propaganda is. That was coming from journalist Glenn Greenwald, posted it on X. Journos worshiping politicians, terrific. That's what Jim Treacher said. Stephen L. Miller wrote, we're on about 8 reintroductions of hers so far for a reason, but here's Time's new cover. Soak it up. National Review senior writer Charles C.W. Cook reacted, why did she need reintroducing? Is it that she needed to change all her policies? Kamala Harris has been reintroduced more times than McDonald's McRib sandwich. That's from communication specialist Brian Doherty. Rob Smith posted, in 3 weeks, the U.S. regime propaganda media transformed Kamala Harris from a national embarrassment into an iconic and transformational politician while not even pretending to know or care what she believes. Incredible. Smith was taking a shot at the media outlets on that one, who were showing nothing but the positive political rhetoric, we also call it BS, totally ignoring the fact that she would not stand before them and answer questions. Conservative communications strategist Matt Whitlock added, no reintroduction necessary. She's the vice president of the United States. We know her well. Okay, I almost made it through without a comment.
Oh, gosh, here
I'll
it
have
comes.
to say that Whitlock hit the nail on the head. She's the VP. We know her well, he wrote.
Mhm.
I know her all too well, too. How about you? How about us? Now, what a mess. What a mess. California sheriff. Did you read about this gentleman? 37 years of veteran with the sheriff's office there. Not a happy camper. He found in a new political ad for
Yes.
Kamala Harris in which she brags border security, which he says distorts the record. In a statement to the media, Tulare County Sheriff Mike Bordeaux made it clear he's not a fan of the VP. He wrote, in light of a recent political ad put out by Kamala Harris featuring Sheriff Bordeaux, as himself, as well as other local law enforcement, the sheriff wants to make it abundantly clear that his image is being used without his permission and endorsement. Bordeaux, who has spent 37 years in the Tulare County Sheriff's Office and is currently president of the California State Sheriff's Association, described a visit Harris made to the Central Valley back in 2013 when she was serving as the California Attorney General. The video features Bordeaux and other local and state law enforcement when Harris was in the Central Valley under circumstances that he couldn't recall, but he did remember her attitude during the visit. He said, as a matter of fact, I would like to point out the misleading information projected in that same political ad. In the ad, Harris claims to have spent decades fighting violent crime as a border state prosecutor. The facts are that then California Attorney General Kamala came to the Valley in 2014, touting a years-long investigation into a multinational drug operation with ties to Mexican drug cartels and prison gangs. Bordeaux said in that particular case, 11 people were arrested, including suspected kingpin Jose Magana. The truth is, he said, Harris never cared about the cartels and did nothing to stop people from illegally crossing the border. Bordeaux added that the appearance by Harris was nothing but smoke and mirrors. We were in the green room, he wrote. She never came in and said hello to any of us. She walked up front, gave her presser, that's a press conference, literally walked out, never said hi to any of us. I'm disgusted because, you know, she didn't even shake our hands. She didn't say hello. And she's taken credit for all this work that the locals did. Wow. Sounds to me like the elusive wannabe president has a bunch of people in her past that she probably hoped were dead and buried by now.
I just, if I hear her one more time
Cops.
talk about as a prosecutor, she went after the drugs and the
She did,
illegal
probably.
immigrants and the MS-13. What did you do any of that as vice president?
Cops have memories that put elephants to shame, by the way.
Sure
we
they
never
do.
forget. The new ad, which promotes Harris' work as a border state prosecutor, claims she will hire
Right.
thousands more border agents and crack down on fentanyl and human trafficking. Okay, I'm going to ask you now. She's saying that now, 3.5 years into her term as a vice president, when she was given the challenge, given the chore by her boss, the president of the United States, to go down to the border and fix the problems.
Yeah, where was all that as vice president? Now suddenly she
Where
realizes
has she been for the last
we
3.5
need
years?
more border patrol.
Well, she's running for office now.
Yes.
Been to Europe, only to Germany. Huh?
Was
Yes,
that
it's
for a
time to
party?
just shake your head, folks, just like the rest of us do.
Well,
I got more.
Oh, you okay?
Is there one political staffer position that you would not want? I'm asking you. Is there one particular position out there that you just flat out would not want?
Communications, like Jean Pierre does.
That's the one. Pick any
I-
position in the
mm-mm.
Biden administration, not an obscure position, nothing like cleaning up broken things when Hillary and Bill were fighting.
Oh, the stories.
Something current today. Corinne Jean-Pierre, Biden's mouthpiece, catches a lot of grief. She should. Imagine having to go in front of a bunch of nosy reporters day after day, answer their sometimes ridiculous questions that have nothing to do with anything relevant to the news of the day. In response to one question, Jean-Pierre gave a quote of the day Monday during the White House press briefing. She said Harris is going to lay out her vision. But again, they've been aligned. You know, they've been aligned for the last 3.5 years. There's not been any daylight. She was talking about the daylight non-existent between Biden and Harris. She said they think alike. Reporters were not the first to jump on that one. Donald Trump's campaign staff was all over it. The campaign folks actually thanked her for clearing it up, stating that Harris thinks exactly like Biden. Kind of makes you feel sorry for the press secretary, doesn't it? Why did she say something stupid like that?
Well,
I mean, the world has dissed Biden.
I'll tell you what.
I mean, the whole globe has just knows that he's a nothing.
I will tell you this about Miss Pia. I have to give her kudos for sticking around this long because I would have been long
What
gone.
else is she going to do?
Well, go get a job in the private sector. Go work for TV or radio, or
I'm not even sure they would stoop to that level.
she
right
could be
now.
an advisor on CNN or MSNBC,
I
like
don't.
they have Kellyanne Conway and some of the others for Fox. I do want to real quick. Did get confirmation from the Jacksonville Daily News that there has been an accident on Gum Branch Road, right past Sherwood Forest. So you turn off of Highway 17 onto Gum Branch. You go past the
That's-
Burger King, Sherwood Forest, and then you've got the Jacksonville Christian Church, which is right up there, and heading up towards Smithfield. There has been an accident. The road's completely blocked. Did get word that there is a JPD directing traffic at the intersection of DeWitt Street, where it comes out onto Gum Branch, right at Smithfield Barbecue. So they're probably sending everybody that way to avert it, but it is completely blocked off right now. So that one we do have confirmation on.
All right. Now, is that the same one or are there two wrecks?
So far, all I know is this one is confirmed. I do not know about the one, if there is one further down the road, or if maybe just the wrong church name was used. I don't know. I have
don't
no
know.
confirmation on the second one.
All
Just definitely on the first one.
right. All right. What else we got cooking there? We're getting all sorts of messages. So
Yes, that's Kelly is telling me traffic is going through DeWitt Street to Henderson. So they are absolutely, they're redirecting traffic. So that section of Gum Branch is completely blocked. You cannot go through it. So you have to take an alternate route. Like 17 to Henderson or Onslow. Do
Yep.
not use Gum Branch.
yeah, you just stay off Gum Branch for a while. Okie dokie.
I know when I go home, I will not go Gum Branch. So
No.
Should be cleared, but then
You can go
again,
to
you don't.
Richlands by way of
know.
Beulahville or something, right?
What?
Nothing.
I'm not going to Richlands.
Yeah, well, you could go there by way of Beulahville.
Yeah,
Whatever you'd like
you-
to do.
Spent many of a day going that way.
Yeah, but you had to drop stuff off.
No, I was
Drop off.
working in Beulahville for a while.
Drops off some stash on your way, right?
No, I was acting postmaster there for about a year and a half.
So you call it postmaster when you're a woman or postmistress?
My dad used to go around and call me postmistress in front of all these older gentlemen, and they all just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, please don't call me that.
Why?
Because it's just,
Isn't that the title?
no, postmaster. Just like chairman. You're not
Oh, no.
chairwoman, you're chairman.
I've seen a bunch of them call themselves chairwoman.
Well, it's just a thing. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not going to get into all that woke stuff.
There was in the 70s when I first moved back to Wilmington. Well, moved to Wilmington for the first time that I moved there. There was a city councilwoman, and Jane, somebody, I forgot her last name now, but she's an older lady. And so I asked her one day when I went up to talk to her, I said, now, do I call you councilwoman or councilman? She said, the title is councilman.
And
I'm not one of those.
See, that happened to me when I was
That's
chairman of
hilarious.
the party. And I kind of thought it would be better to say chairwoman and no, you're chairman. I'm like, okay, whatever.
There you go. Took
I
care
don't
of
really
that.
care.
All right, we're going to take a break, do a little weather, and we'll be right back. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Okay, we're back, and we do have clarification on the wreck, the one wreck. There is one wreck,
There's only one.
and it's on Gum Branch Road.
It's on Gum Branch Road. So it is in front of Jacksonville Christian Academy Church, right across from Azalea Garden Apartments.
Near
Right
the
be-
Chamber of Commerce, near
Yes.
DeWitt Street.
So Gum Branch, from where you turn off of Highway 17
Don't do it.
to the intersection of Gum Branch and Henderson Drive.
Or Doris, whatever.
Right. That's pretty much blocked right there. They are redirecting traffic coming down Gum Branch to DeWitt Street,
And that's going to be putting
That's
you through
coming
a
from-
subdivision that's going to be you slow traveling.
right back out to Northwoods Shopping Center. But I would just avoid Gum Branch Road from Highway 17 to where it intersects with Henderson Drive.
There you
Just
go.
stay away.
Got it.
It's completely blocked right now. They are redirecting traffic. They have a lot of emergency vehicles out there.
Yeah, it's
And-
going to be a time to clean it up, get it straightened out.
Yes, that's right. So
find another
just,
route.
but that was the only one. The one further down Gum Branch, actually, no, there's not one there.
Yeah.
It's just the one.
All right. We got a little confused.
That's right.
The Marine Outlook is sponsored by Community Prevention Service. Whether you're having personal issues, perhaps you're overwhelmed with family matters, there could be problems at work that are causing you more grief than you deserve, maybe more than you can handle all alone. And that's understandable. You're not alone in that respect. The more we have on our plates, the more it seems like it's coming at us from every direction. And doesn't it seem that it all happens at the same time? If there's one thing that happens, it all happens at the same time. And you just want to find a corner and go hide in the dark. I think a lot of people are like that. Maybe this is the time to reach out for a little assistance. The good thing is that you don't have to drive all over the state of North Carolina to look for help. It's right around the corner. Community Prevention Service is located at 918 Henderson Drive right here in Jacksonville. It's a local company. They don't have headquarters in Raleigh or Washington. It's all right here. The counselors are trained to assist the issue you have. The company accepts most insurance plans, so don't let that add to your worries. No worries either about reading what about your issues on the internet. Everything you share is totally confidential. One really nice thing about Community Prevention Service is that they actually care about each other and about you and every one of their clients. They'll work with you to develop a treatment plan, one that does not involve shoveling a bunch of drugs down your throat. Maybe that's one of your problems. If you've tried self-medicating, you've probably come to finally understand that it really doesn't work. It's only short term, very short term, and nothing but an escape from your problem. Let the counselors at Community Prevention Service assist you. You'll be glad you did. Call for an appointment, 910-353-0972. That's 910-353-0972. Offshore today, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, 2-foot waves from the northeast every 3 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Wednesday, northeasterly winds around 10 knots, seas 2 to 3. Looking pretty good with 3-foot waves every 9 seconds tomorrow. That's that far apart, not bad. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Thursday, northeasterly winds around 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a light chop.
And today we have a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 87. Tonight, partly cloudy, 68. Wednesday, a chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near 86. Thursday, sunny with a high of 86. And Friday, sunny with a high of 86. Beautiful weather this
60,
week.
68. I'm going to freeze.
Yeah, I know. 68 tonight. I just want brr.
Yeah, there you go.
May have to turn on the heat.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Good morning, Rayford and Lee. How are
Good
you
morning,
two?
Chris.
Yeah, we're hanging in here.
Rayford, it's going to be so cold. You want me to drop some wood off for you?
Yeah, would you do that, please, and drop some matches just in
Yeah.
case?
Sure.
Start
So,
that wood
wha-
fire.
What has Kamala's? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's you.
No, you're good.
She was being a smart aleck.
Oh, okay. Well, I love when she does that. So, what's Kamala? What's Kamala accomplished? Let's see. Voting rights.
Nope.
Nope. Let's see the border.
Nope.
No. Now, the interesting thing is about abortion. You know, everyone is down on the Supreme Court. What did they do? What did they actually do with the Roe
They
versus
said
Wade?
that all 50 of y'all out there, there are 50 states, all 50 of y'all have the right to do it the way you want to.
There you go.
States'
So
rights.
why is everybody taking it out on President Trump?
No, I don't know. Yeah.
That's a rhetorical question, obviously. And now they're scheduled to next Wednesday night, I believe, if he can stay awake. He's going to be addressing, this is Mr. Biden, he's going to address the United States about all their accomplishments.
That won't take long.
I'm trying to think what they are, unless they want to brag about higher gas prices, higher food prices. Let's see, the battery operated cars. Where's that gone?
Mhm.
Well, they're just, I read yesterday, and I cannot remember the exact number. They're all the new cars that are bought these days, there's like 7 or 8% are electric vehicles. And the number of crashes, y'all want to do something, check the number of crashes related to the electric vehicles versus gasoline powered vehicles. Not the number themselves, but the number per the number of vehicles on the highway. You have to do it that way. You can't just say the number of vehicles because there's only 8%. Do the total number of vehicles and then on the highway, and then figure out how many per vehicle on the highway of electric cars and per gasoline cars. I saw that number yesterday.
Yeah, hypothetical. Go ahead, Lee.
Up to recently, she has, as vice president, whenever she was questioned about the economy and inflation, she kept stating the economy was good. Oh, well, eggs do go up and prices do go up. But now she's out there touting, I'm going to make sure that we drop these prices on groceries that are too high and people can't afford. I mean, it's completely an about face now. Her prices were okay while she was vice president, but now she's running for president and she wants to combat inflation.
And this is the same thing that her boss, who made her the border czar, who never visited the border, that's the same thing he said 4 years ago.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But she's going to do it now because he couldn't. Even though she couldn't do what her boss told her to do. Okay. So hypothetically, let me ask you a question, Rayford and Lee. You're a lady, and Rayford, you're a gentleman. If you make a commitment, you're going to commit so much money to something, you still have an opportunity to not do it, right?
Yes.
But that's just a commitment. You're just saying, yes, I'm going to commit $350 million to the Chris Marks Foundation.
Yes.
But you haven't done it yet, right?
Yep.
Okay. You have? I haven't seen it yet. But anyway, so
it's in the mail. Checks in the mail.
Okay. I'll figure it out with the wood. So Biden says that America now has the #1 chip manufacturing company in the world. You know who the #1 is, of course, Taiwan.
Yes.
And that they committed to build a $365 million plant in the United States.
Uh-huh.
They haven't done it. They haven't done it yet. So how are we #1?
It's #1 in our minds or in our desires. That's the way it is. I mean, I was #1 most of my life in my own head.
Oh,
what about you?
I'm a living legend. I'm a living legend in my own mind.
Y'all need to simmer down.
I just say, Lee, and you're right. You're not voting for the president. You're voting for the party's ticket. And then that goes back to the electors. But I think, they're on there telling people what they want to hear. As far as Waltz goes, okay, he should resign before he's even officially, I guess, on the ticket. I mean, she's not really, she didn't get voted in. She got appointed. 14 million people did not vote for Joe Biden to be on the ticket
Nope.
for this
That's
election.
That's absolutely, you're absolutely
So-
right there.
You know, and now his battalion leader, the clergy that was assigned to that battalion, this guy still wants to come across as Mr. Country folk hero, whatever. Hey, I like the fact that he's a teacher. I like the fact that he's a football coach.
But
Let's see, he let Minnesota burn. Yeah.
well, he and his wife together encouraged it, especially his wife encouraged it to burn, and his daughter assisted in that effect. Come on, that's the
Yeah.
fact.
Well, they encouraged it to burn because his wife wanted to open the window and smell all the rubber burning.
That's right. And his daughter
You know-
let the people know, let the rioters know when the National Guard was not going to be there.
Yeah, well, that was pretty much while the police department was burning down.
Well, Chris, I have a question
Well-
for you.
Yes, dear.
It's your net worth range from 6 million to 15 million right now. Would you consider yourself wealthy?
Financially okay, but wealthy?
Yes.
No.
Oh, I would
No.
be.
I would. I would. I was just, because, Kamala was going on and on, attacking Elon Musk and Trump last night, calling them rich boys who only cared about tax breaks for themselves. But I was just looking up her net worth right now is ranging from 6 million to 15 million. And I'm like, I'd take that.
Well, let's look at it this way. Now, you know what? On those pictures that I keep getting every day, I get emails from her. She sends me personal emails. I don't know whether you get them or not.
I'm
And
blocking.
I want you to contribute some money, $1,000, $100, $5, a quarter, whatever you got. I tried a quarter. They don't take that, by the way. I just did it for fun. And but anyway, this picture of her, as has been pointed out, she's wearing a $62,000 chain around her neck.
Yeah, I'll tear it.
$62,000 bought from Goldman, whatever that company is.
Mhm.
They had the ad
What-
there with it, the price of it.
Wasn't that the gift from Willie Brown?
I
No, wait a
have
minute.
no
No, that
idea who it's
Jerry,
from. No.
Jerry Brown. That, all kidding aside, I mean, she talks about these
Willie
things
would have
too,
been a good
and
man
how much
for him.
money she's raised.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, TikTok, all these major corporations that she says are going to be taxed because they're worth billions and hundreds and millions and billions of dollars. I'd love to see her try to tax Michael Jordan.
Good luck.
Go ahead.
Mm.
There goes her Nike supply. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Thanks
Chris,
for
thank you.
calling.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Wow. Yeah, I was just looking to see if there was any updates on the accident. I don't see anything. So
Well, Harris campaign is blasting Trump's interview with Elon Musk. That was on last night, right?
oh yeah.
You saw part of it.
I saw the majority before I fell asleep. It was long.
She says Trump's campaign is in service of self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class. Did the 4 years that Trump was in office, now I'm asking because y'all do know, I want to point out one more time, I'm not a Trump fan, but I do want to know facts. Did Trump sell out the middle class during his 4 years in office? Do you
Did-
think that he sold out the middle class during those 4 years?
I don't see where. I don't see that. No.
Well, Trump was on with Musk, a live audio chat. It was on X. I still can't get over that.
Yeah.
I think y'all call it Triple X. That used to be known as Twitter. For an interview due to technical difficulties, that goes. There are so many of those.
Well,
When you start doing those behind the scene things, and you got podcasters and you got this and that's and those. You don't have broadcasters. Okay, there's a difference. Broadcasters got years and decades of experience and equipment to deal with it. The podcast stuff is kind of foo-foo stuff out there.
Right. Yes.
And you got a platform up there, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or whatever. We are regularly having issues with that. They're having issues keeping it up and running in a responsible time frame. But ours over the air is running. It's got to be a major malfunction for that to malfunction. But anyway, he was there. Millions of people apparently checked it out. That's according to the live tracker that they had throughout the discussion.
Yeah, when I was watching last night, there was about 85,000 people watching it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people on there. I'm surprised the whole internet didn't crash.
Musk said he would give Harris plenty of time to respond to. She ain't going to come on.
No, I just find it really kind of strange that now all of a sudden she's using the same points on her platform that Trump's been using. And 3.5 years as vice president, always against these selling points, and now all of a sudden they're becoming her
Sure.
platform.
She had run so many well, there's nothing wrong with the border. We just got to have these people come in. It's just got to be. And if the Republicans had come on board earlier this year, we could have had this thing under control. What about the first 3 years? Between the time he took over and the time that they said that this other bill that they presented that the Republicans shot down, it went nowhere, right?
Right.
Well, why did it go nowhere? Because there's so much other stuff attached to it. But that's beside the point. Let me go back. What about the first 3 years? Why wait until it's time to start campaigning to say, oh, we need this thing. The administration, we really need to get this thing done.
I don't know, Rayford.
Now, for you folks who are trying to call, you can't get through because our phone lines, they're blinking, but there's no one home. We can't answer them. You can send an email to Lee C. Barrows at gmail.com, Lee C. Barrows at gmail.com, or post a question on Facebook Messenger and give us your telephone number. Give us your telephone number and your name, and we'll call you right back. We can do that from one of the computers I got set up over here. Okay? You can do that. We got anybody waiting?
No
All right,
one at
let's take a
all.
break. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
apprehensions went up 40.
All right, Steve, we'll be with you in just a second. Don't go away. Okay, we're going to go to Steve here in just a second, but just a reminder, folks, for those who are trying to call in on our landline, it does not work. We know you're calling, we cannot answer it, and it's not connected to our audio system, so we can't put you on the air. So just hang in there, and there are some ways to get on the air, and we'll have to show it to you again tomorrow. Good morning, Steve-O. What's up?
Hey, good morning, guys. Hope y'all having a good day.
It's Monday, right?
Hey.
It's the day after Monday,
Close
which
enough.
was Monday was the day before today, which today's the day after yesterday.
Simmer down.
I had a couple of things I wanted to comment on.
Yes.
The first one was you're asking about Trump and if he had sold out the middle class. And I don't know really what they were talking about there. But the first thing that pops in my head is the tax break that he and the Republicans negotiated for the wealthiest 1% to the tune of multiple trillions of dollars that they never had a way to pay for. So now extremely rich people aren't paying taxes, extremely poor people aren't paying taxes. So I would say the middle class is the one that's left to cover that deficit. And it won't be just us, it'll be our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren that have to pay that money back or have to make up that difference.
Mm-hmm. Did you have to pay any
So
money
that
back?
might not have because I've had to file as a business instead of an employee. So
Yes.
the tax rate's a little higher for that.
Yeah. How about for the
But,
years before that? Did you have to pay more?
I'm sorry.
During the Trump years, did you have to pay more in taxes?
During the most of the Trump years, I was an employee, so my tax rate was a lot different. So it's hard to compare. It's like apples and oranges.
And a lot of people point out about the economy overall, not just the taxes. Did you have to pay more for groceries during Trump's time, or for gasoline during Trump's time, or during the Biden years?
Okay, I had to pay more during the Biden years, and that's something I would like to point out. Especially, that was the second thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay,
was when we talk about the economy, gas and grocery prices. You're right; they're high, and that is a factor of our economy. And I'm not disputing that one bit. But there are also other factors of our economy that are doing well, and we should acknowledge that, and that we don't want to change that. The fact that we got record low unemployment is a good thing, and we should acknowledge that and say we want that to stay the same. We want to keep doing that. When we look at record job growth, we want to try and keep that going. That is a good thing. It doesn't mean that the economy is perfect and that we don't still have a lot of stuff we got to work on, but there are some things you can point out and say that's doing good and that's doing good. But over here, these things are not doing good, and we need to work on those. Mm-hmm. But the narrative that the whole economy is completely collapsed and trash, that's not really a fair assessment. The stock market, if somebody's been invested in the stock market in diamonds, they've made a lot of money in the last 4 years because the stock market has increased by about 40 to 45%. Mm-hmm. I know we had a bad day last week, but overall, 401ks some of them should be looking better.
So, if I had invested in diamonds, I would be up 45%. Is that what you're saying?
Somewhere between 40 and 50%.
Wow.
You know what a diamond is, right?
Yeah. Wish I had done that.
Okay, you're talking about the stock market right now under Biden.
Right.
And this is factcheck.org on both Biden and Trump.
Okay.
The stock market is showing a 28.2% increase. When Trump left office, it was at 67.8. So it did take a dip. It's starting to climb back up now, but it was much better under Trump when he left. And you
Well, I'm
talked
saying
about-
overall, diamonds are based on the whole stock market as a whole, and it's gone from a little over 20,000 to a little over 30,000. That's a clear increase. It doesn't really have anything to do with the Biden administration. And I'm not trying to say all these things that are good or because of them. I'm just trying to say that they are good.
Sure.
That we should acknowledge that. I think the American people deserve credit for that, not necessarily any administration, regardless if they're Democrat or Republican.
Well, I can't see where it
We've
would
come
be
a long ways in the
attributed.
last 4 years, and we should acknowledge that. And, you know, America has done a lot of good in the last 4 years. Not necessarily the administration, but America.
All right, factcheck.org. Inflation spiked to the highest level in over 40 years despite recent moderation. Consumer prices are up nearly 18% overall during Biden's time, gasoline up 29%. So let's see what
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. You know, and there's a lot of factors involved with that. I don't know that it's fair to say that the who's in the White House completely controls what our gas prices or grocery prices are. I don't know how that works. That they're directly control of that. You know?
Here's something that might explain
Maybe
it.
somebody could explain that to me.
Under
Yeah.
Biden, U.S. crude oil production's up 12%. Under Trump, it was 28%. So that might have made a difference right there. But we have to go because we have another commercial. But thank
I
you
got
for
you. But
calling.
my point I wanted to make is be fair in your assessments, point out what's good, and give credit where credit's due.
That's
and
why we have
then your
these-
criticism has more credit. You know?
That's why we have these. No.
And that's why
Yeah.
we.
Y'all have a blessed day.
That's
You
why we
too.
talk about what Kamala says about it and also what Trump says about it. So that's the way we're looking at it. All right. Thank you, sir. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back. Okie dokie. And I know somebody has been trying to call for the last 15 minutes or so on our normal landlines. Those lines are not connected. They only flash in the house here. They don't ring. We can't answer them. They only flash. We know somebody's trying to call. Those who are listening, I'll tell you one more time, you can do this tomorrow because we run out of time for calls today. If you will send us an email or you'll send us a Facebook message, that's the only way we have contact with you. And you can give us your telephone number, your name. If you choose to tell us what you want to talk about, then tomorrow we will make a point of calling you. You can do that all night long tonight if you want to, all day tomorrow morning. But you've got to do it those two ways. The first one is an email address. It's Lee's email address. Send her an email. Get your pencil now and write this down. Lee, Lee, the initial C as in cucumber. Barrows, B as in boy, ARROWS @gmail.com. I'm going to repeat that for you. Lee, LEEC, Barrows, BARROWS @gmail.com. Or you can go to Facebook, our Facebook page, and just send us a message, a Facebook message. Do it via Facebook Messenger to us. And at tomorrow morning, we will go down the list and we will make a list and we will call you one at a time. Okay, we can call you. You can't call us. That's a temporary situation. As soon as we get all of our equipment back in here that's been sent out for repairs, we'll take care of that problem. But it's a couple $1,000s worth of stuff. I don't feel like buying any new ones.
Just want to put out there real quick. It has been confirmed by the Jacksonville Daily News that Gum Branch Road is now open.
Yay. So traffic is clear.
Thank you, Chris.
Y'all can get out there and speed all you want until you have another
No.
wreck, and then we can shut her down again. And I'm just kidding. All right, coming up tomorrow, we have Dr. Rosemary Stein.
Yes,
We're
we
going to
do.
be talking about all things, especially dealing with kids and whatever, and
Ask
getting ready
her.
back to school. And
I saw a report just came out that scabies was on the rise.
that's what I saw.
Ah,
Yeah.
just start
I mean,
itching
I-
already. I'm bringing the Caladrill.
I got a back scratcher here. I'm going to start with it. Also tomorrow, I don't know about y'all. Last month, we were talking with a young lady who's a very smart young lady. Her
Very.
name is Meredith Kroom. She is one of the gurus out there at Grants Creek Nursery,
She
and-
knows her stuff.
and she knows all about stuff. They got 40 acres of stuff out there. She better know it.
Right.
And they're a huge operation. We talked about the drought last month. Be careful what I talked about, right? Because then all of a sudden we did not have a drought anymore. She was talking
Mhm.
about what we could do, and that's what I did to help take care of that. Now we've got a lot of water. We got a high water table, more water possible, of course, throughout the month. We have possibility of through September. Obviously, this is that time of year for possibility of showers and thunderstorms. They can pop up out of nowhere for no reason. Hard to forecast, hard to predict, but it can happen. But we're going to be talking with Meredith tomorrow about what we need to look at if there's something we can do to maybe help recover or do something for a fall planting, or should we just get ready for some of the winter vegetables? Don't plant them yet though.
Right.
But we some things about what to do with the yard that's maybe oversaturated.
Yeah. Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Maybe she knows what to do
Let's-
about those great big mushrooms that
Yeah,
are growing all over.
I got
everybody's
lots of
yard.
little ones out there in the garden. I got to go out and try to.
Yeah, dig them
eliminate 'em.
up. Yeah.
It's hard to get rid of them.
Yes.
So anyway, we'll talk to her about that. And if you've suffered like I have, a lot of my stuff in the garden is gone bye bye. The drought didn't get
Mine
it.
is
'Cause
ruined.
I kept it watered, but the water got it.
Yep.
Let's just look at it that way. Okay, so Meredith will join us tomorrow morning, and that's about 8:00. Dr. Rose at 7:30 in the morning.
Yes.
And again, one more time here, if you want to talk with us on the air, send us an email at leecbarrows@gmail.com, or send a Facebook message via Facebook Messenger to us. Either way, send your telephone number
And your name.
and your name.
First name is
First
fine.
name is fine. We just need to know what to call you when we call you. And then we will
Yes.
call you. I cannot promise you what time we will call you,
Right.
but we'll have a list of them. Hopefully, we'll have a list when I walk in here tomorrow morning. I'll look down there and say, okay, I got to call Sam, Dick,
I've
John,
got
and
one
Joe.
already for tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yes. So we'll be calling this gentleman. He's
Got it.
one of our frequent callers, and he did not know about the phone system.
Yeah, I
so
know. It's we're trying to make
hope
it
to have
as
it up
public
running
as possible.
soon. Right.
Whenever it happens, we'll have both lines up and operational. And if I knock on wood and say that we can actually take two calls at the same time, that might be reaching, but that's
would
what
be
I've asked for the
good.
modification while I was sending these things out. So hopefully we can get all of that done. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, 10
Gotcha.
o'clock this morning is another dose of the daily. And he's got a whole bunch of jokes in there. I wonder if Kelly will ever listen.
It's just full of jokes.
I think my jokes
Is
are
that
as
where
good
you're
as
getting
his.
your jokes?
No.
Or he's getting his jokes
He's
from
getting
you?
his from
They kind of parallel each other.
some of them are about
Yeah.
about the same mentality. And then at 3 o'clock this afternoon is another dose of the Daily D's. No, it's not. That's at 10 o'clock. And then
Yeah.
another dose of the Daily Chris's. The Hollywood will be in the house.
Hollywood is in the house at 3.
And at 7 o'clock in the
22
morning.
hours later.
7 o'clock in the morning. It's us all over again. Right now, we're going to take a break. You're live and local, Real Talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Fox News is now